so I can see it, okay? As we go through the Capitol, we're going to stay together as a group. Best way to do that is in a straight line behind me. So a straight single file line behind me. This is also very important on our stairs. To get up to the top, it's 141 steps to get up there. 141 steps back down. So on the stairs, we're going to take our time, pace ourselves, and we'll keep our right hand on the right rail just like I do in our line, okay? Double check your shoelaces while we're seated. Make sure they're tied or about to. And then if you have anything with you, we're going to take everything with us. We're not coming back to it later. So coats on, you can wrap around your waist, you carry them if you want to, okay? Any questions? Okay. Anybody in the elevator? Okay, just making sure. Let's go ahead and stand on up. We're going to move out to our next room. We'll make our line out here.
Make our line out there. See, that's just Band-Aid.
Authorized personnel.
Alright, Paige, making our straight line. Good place to start on our tour today. Like I said, the Capitol, 146 years old, opened up in 1879. We're not in the Capitol yet, though. We're actually underground behind the Capitol in this big space. This is called Heritage Hall. Heritage Hall is brand new. It opened up 2 years ago. And the cool thing is that it was built for you guys. It was built for our field trips. When you come to the Capitol, get to watch a nice video. We're going to see some cool artifacts and photos in just a minute that tell stories of the Capitol. And then in just a minute or two, we'll be at the other end. We'll take the big staircase up into the ground floor of the Capitol itself. Now, because we are underground, we didn't want it to feel like a dark tunnel, so made it nice and bright and open and big. And we've got these big skylights up top that give you some great views of the Capitol and its dome. So in a line, we're going to circle around the bench. When you get here, up there, and then over this way.
Put your phone down.
So that is a metal dome. It goes up 267 feet into the air.
That's crazy. That's big.
That is.
That's pretty.
If somebody falls off that, they're dead.
Yeah, there's no way you're surviving. Well, if you have a parachute, maybe, but I doubt that you're going to have a parachute.
I read a book about her once. The last picture. Well, there's like a little piano.
So whoever finds the word 2 a.m. first wins. That's what
We're going to pause here. We'll keep our line to this side.
Really?
And we're going to walk down this big ramp over towards the stairs. As we do, you'll see some cool stuff on this left-hand side. These cases with artifacts and photos help tell stories of the Capitol. This one here is really cool. It talked about the actual building, the construction of the Capitol. As you learned about, this is Michigan's third Capitol. We opened up in 1879. The man who won the contest to design the Capitol in 1871, architect Elijah Myers, remember him from the video. It took them 6 years to build his building at a total cost back then of $1.5 million. Sounds like a lot. It was even more back in the 1870s. The outside of the building is made of sandstone from Ohio, so it's a big stone building.
Ohio.
And then the inside is made of bricks. In this case, we have 3 bricks. Up in the Capitol, we have 15 million bricks. That's the walls, the floors, and the ceiling. So it's a big brick and stone building, which doesn't sound too fancy for a Capitol building. So what they decided to do to make it more fancy was paint everything. Cover up all that brick, cover up all the stone on the inside. And what they did was they painted 9 acres worth of beautiful artwork in the Capitol. 9 acres probably sounds like a lot. To help you picture it, that's more than 9 football fields worth.
More than 9?
Artists have gone through and painted pretty much everything you'll see today, from the walls to the ceilings, pillars, columns, chandeliers, doors, door frames. Pretty much everything upstairs completely hand-painted, which means one of our biggest rules in the Capitol is about, got a lot of pretty walls and ceilings. Wherever you can, we're not going to touch it, because we have oil on our skin that keeps our skin nice and healthy, but the oil is really bad for the paint. And if your oil gets on the paint, it might start to wear it down over time. So to take good care of the Capitol, we're all going to help out today. If you look with your eyes, please don't touch the walls, okay? Keep on walking a little bit.
Imagine you come and show me
We're going to walk by a couple big photos here. The biggest rooms in the Capitol. These are called the House and Senate chambers. Inside of these two big rooms, we'll see upstairs in the Capitol our state representatives, our state senators, our legislative branch come to the Capitol to work on new laws. So on the tour today, we'll talk about laws, why we have laws, who gets to work on them, and why we have them. We're going to stop here at the top. Then one of our favorite parts of this big ramp, the big photo collage at the end of people at the Capitol. This helps remind us that while the building's here for 146 years, people have been coming to visit since day one. Just like you are today, you're visiting the Capitol. People have been doing this for a long, long time. And people come to the building for a lot of reasons. Come on their field trips, come with their friends and family, come with their sports teams, come with their marching bands, participate in big conventions and conferences at the Capitol. People come to the Capitol to share their ideas, to voice their opinions on issues affecting Michigan. But while the Capitol is here for a lot of reasons, first and foremost, it's here for you. In fact, this building has a special nickname. Students, repeat after me. This is called the People's House.
The People's House.
And what that tells us is that this building doesn't belong to any one person. It doesn't belong to the president. It doesn't belong to the governor. You know who this building belongs to?
All of us.
You are the people.
Us.
You.
Citizens.
Yeah, it belongs to us. It belongs to us as Michiganders. This is your Capitol. It belongs to you. It belongs to us. So if you enjoy your tour today, you can come back and visit whenever you want. It's free. You can come anytime you want. If you want to come watch people work in the Capitol, you can do that too. Their meetings are open to you to come watch and participate. So this is here for you. This is our Capitol. Okay, so keep in mind that. One more thing you'll see on here to talk.
I might just do
Take a picture up on the wall.
I'm gonna become a vlogger.
This is true.
You might recognize this kind of thing from Michigan. That's called the state seal. Our state seal is sort of like our state logo. Every state in America makes their own seal, makes their own logo. They all design their own. So each state looks different. You'll see a lot of the other state seals up in the Capitol later on in the tour. But ours is different because it has three big animals on it. What bird is that up top? You can say
Bald eagle.
eagle or a U.S. bird. And then the two other animals bigger than deer. You guys know what these are?
Reindeer.
Yeah, very good. There's an
Reindeer.
elk on the left and then a moose on the right. That's because there's a lot of moose and elk found in the Great Lakes region, all the Great Lakes states and up in Canada. So Michigan is a Great Lakes state, so thus we have them on our state seal. Remember the word in the center? You saw it in the video, two-a-roar in Latin. Anybody remember what two-a-roar means?
No.
Get it?
Bro, I just want to
I will protect. That is our state motto, two-a-roar. You see them all over the Capitol. I had seen how the time they saw this picture. 600 times in the Capitol. So you don't have to count it today, the word for it, but you'll see on the doors and ceilings and chandeliers because we decorated with it. We're really proud of our state seal. All right, we're gonna head up the first staircase. We're
going up the staircase.
Finally. Up to the ground floor.
For real. Finally. Let's talk about that whole picture.
do it. Go this side. On this side.
I might just fire extinguisher gold.
Oh, dang. That's all fire.
Wait.
Dang, I'm getting exercise already. Golly. You weren't lying about the stairs.
Yeah, he was.
I thought you was lying for a second.
They should put an elevator instead. That'd be sick.
On the rail.
No, bro, my legs are already okay.
My legs hurt too. It's the elevator, no fair. I wanna. Buffalo babies. They're gold too.
Oh, it's so dark. It's so creepy.
Yeah, it's kind of dark in here, Sherelle. Oh, there's vending machines in there. What's that? I might go film text them.
I'm gonna go sleep.
It's dark in here, my camera.
All right, you're going to take a page on the screen. Line over to this side. Just so I can see all of you.
Don't break the
Catch our
wall.
pause here for a moment to catch our breath.
Don't break the wall.
This piece, that's the biggest one to go up. The rest are a lot easier. But we are inside the Capitol now. That's why it looks and sounds different up here. We're at the ground floor of the building. When the Capitol first opened 146 years ago, this floor wasn't really meant to be seen by students on their wheelchair. It's not too decorated. In just a minute, we'll have floor one, and you'll see it transform with that 9 football fields of artwork, right? But one thing I want us to see on this ground floor, though, out here in this next room is a big round space. Okay, this big round space is called the bottom of the rotunda. The rotunda is a giant round room in the center of the Capitol. The rotunda is 160 feet tall. The ceiling of the rotunda is the inside of the Capitol dome. The floor of the rotunda, it's going to be right up here above us in the next room, is also very special. That floor is made of glass. It's called the glass floor. Altogether, there's 976 glass tiles in the glass floor. We're going to go right on top of it upstairs, okay? That floor is very safe, okay? Even though the tiles themselves are only about half an inch thick, the floor itself can hold about 40 tons of weight.
40
That's about
40
the same
elephants.
amount as 20 baby elephants. Do you think we weigh as much as 20 baby elephants? That makes sense. So we're going to go on top of the floor. We got some cool things going on that we'll talk about. And we're going to get the best view in the entire Capitol. Go ahead and follow over this way. We have a staircase right over here. Much
I hope
shorter than
they
the last one.
don't invite cases. You're actually recording this whole thing.
Yeah, bro.
It's a movie theater.
Alright, it's way lighter in here.
Oh, alright.
I want to go down there. I see one of those court lamps.
Alright. It smells like someone fans like, they have diapers for the exit. I smell burnt popcorn.
It does smell like popcorn.
It does.
Yo, I feel like I'm going to a movie theater now.
It smells. These are those were the worst stairs. Oh my god.
These are the worst days, bro.
No, he said the last ones were. Yo, he wasn't lying about how old this place was. These stairs look so old.
Bro, I feel like I'm gonna break.
Yeah,
I feel like when it falls down, it's gonna break. Yo, check your ball.
Wait, there's a picture right here.
Yo, look at the walls. Whoa. Man, this is Sigma. Yo, this is crazy.
Oh my god. This is amazing. Look at this guy. Ava, look here.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Somebody, queso. Queso. Oh, it's more cracked right here.
This is scary.
All right, once you find a good spot, if you haven't already, take a peek up. And a little bit easier than tilting your head back. If you want to, go ahead and lay down on your back. Nice and comfy, look straight up there.
Forward a little. Wait, watch out. He didn't get up. Everybody
All
watch
right,
out.
so remember downstairs, I said there's a big round room in the Capitol. This is it. This is called the rotunda. You're laying on your back, looking up to the top. Altogether, it's 160 feet from your noses to
so
the
scared.
stars at the
Something's
top
gonna
of that
fall on my
dome.
head.
Those stars painted with real gold and real silver.
Real
Now,
gold?
there's no constellation, no designs of the stars that we know of. There might have been a secret design they put up there but never told us. We think, though, the stars are up there to inspire us, to make us think about reaching for the stars. In fact, take both your hands, reach up there toward the stars. Raise your fingers up, stars again. Those stars are the size of your hand put together. From here, they're so small you can pinch them between your fingers, right? But as we go higher in the Capitol today, closer and closer to the top, you'll see the stars grow in size. That's exactly why we're up there. Those stars inspire us and think about the endless night sky. Think about the endless future, all the possibilities ahead of us, things that we can work on today to make ourselves better, make our schools better, make Middleville better, make our state of Michigan a better place as well. So while you're looking at the stars, right below the stars, you have women at the top of the hill. There's 8 women painted up there. They look like goddesses. Each one of those goddesses stands as a symbol of something in Michigan that's important to us. We're always trying to make better. So, for example, there's one that looks like a teacher. She has books in her picture. Represents schools in Michigan. One up there looks like a farm.
when he said that,
Represents farms in Michigan. One up there looks like a judge. One looks like a scientist, an artist. Things in Michigan we're always trying to make better. Right now we're on floor 1. The highest step we'll go is floor 3. That is 2 rails up from here. At the 3rd floor, we'll see the House and Senate chambers. We'll peek inside the old courtroom. And then up on the next floor, then floor 2 above us, we're going to go see the governor's office next.
Governor's office.
Before we head up here to right, let's sit up here, have a seat. We're going to look down below us.
Down below.
And this is the glass floor. We walk down below and down the stairs. If there are people down there walking through right now, we're looking up. They can see us up here.
Queso.
Yeah, they can see our shadows up here. So they can't see us completely. These are not transparent tiles like windows. These are called translucent tiles. Only light passes up here. Now, I mentioned downstairs, we have some work going on. You can see this white wall. This isn't usually here. It'll be here throughout the entire year, though, because what we have is a project to replace some of these glass tiles. I said downstairs that there's 976 glass tiles in this floor. Up until last year, we thought most of these were original. So here in 1879, so 146 years old. But we found out, though, that in 1931, almost 100 years ago, there was a fire on the ground floor where we just came from. And the fire got so hot, what do you think it did to some of the tiles?
Burn them.
So it wasn't hot enough to melt it, but it was hot enough to make them crack. It ruined the tiles. So we found out they replaced about 685 of those cracked tiles. So most of these are not from 1879, they're actually from 1931. The 1931 tiles they put in were different from the original tiles. So what we've done now is we're working with a company in Rhode Island that specializes in glass floors. And we're going to replace all the tiles from the 1930s so the floor looks like it was actually supposed to when the Capitol first opened its doors. So they put some X's on some, they put some lines on some, and they're going to go through and replace them. They just started it 2 weeks ago. They started replacing some of the tiles behind the wall. When we go up to the next level, you'll be able to see over the wall and see some holes in the floor from tiles they've drilled out. That's a really exciting project. If you come back next year, next March, this will all be finished and you'll see the finished product of the glass floor project.
Alright, bet.
It's a lot of history, right?
I need a
So we're going to
vlog.
bring it back.
Imagine it's like a glass bridge.
I'm a pro vlogger.
Yeah, there's some that look like they're actually shattered and cracked, right? So those are still taped together, they're still safe. But the reason why that was cracked is that last year, we had another big project in this room to repaint and clean everything up there, including the stars. So in order to get up there to paint all that stuff and clean it, it's really dusty, they built scaffolding. They built platforms on this glass floor. They stacked the platforms up like big jungle gyms, and they went all the way to the stars to clean it and paint it. Now during that project, a couple hammers got dropped. What do you think those hammers did? Broke some of the tiles.
What's the
We're
below
doing
there?
this too is to replace some of the damaged tiles.
Why could it
It's history, man.
Yes, I have to scrap
why?
something for safety.
Why could you just get some normal rugs
They did that last year.
and you paint them so you can paint them to look like glass?
Because it's history.
So with that, our next stop is
Just watch an ad.
Governor's office. Let's take our
Governor's office. Yo, this is gonna go viral. Let's just went viral. Put a baby in a spiral. Oh. Hey, stop bouncing. Especially you, Chris.
On the right side, my friends, put your hand on your railing as you're walking up.
There's a painting. Right stroke, just whip. Hey, yo, Casey.
thirsty seats.
SJ Crespo, Philadelphia. All the metal in the capital case, Philadelphia.
You guys have to pay money to do this?
And the right side.
Whoa! That looks scary. Yo, when you look down those windows, it looks scary for real. We're going on a trip on our favorite reserve. What's that? Can you touch that?
Yeah.
Theodore Roosevelt. I'm pretty sure I got that right.
So.
I don't know.
Close though.
It does look like that.
All right, for this next one.
What are you taking a picture of it? I'm showing people the White House, man. Hosting this. It's not the White House. Why is it called the White House?
All right. I know it's a very tight space. If you're in the back, you don't have a good view yet. In just a minute, I'll get out of the way, and then we'll take turns coming up to the very front to get the best look inside. But a couple quick things here first. This is our largest office in the Capitol. If you guys will be using this, where they go. You can go for our
Put a baby in a spiral.
Like the president.
It's our governor.
You serve 2 terms of 4 years. If you're elected twice, each time you're elected, it serves 4 years. How many years total is that? 8 years. She's the 43rd person to serve as governor of Michigan, and she's now our 2nd woman to serve as governor of Michigan. 15 years ago, we have another female governor, her name was Jennifer Granholm. We'll see her picture in just a few minutes on this board. Okay?
Yeah.
Now you see nobody's working here today. She's not here right now. She's probably at her office across the street. Across the street there's another brick building called the Romney Building. That's for her day-to-day office. So that's where she does most of her work at. But she will use this office here in the Capitol for some special things. If the governor's signing a new law, that can happen out back there. Makes her great book. If the governor's giving a speech to you guys on the news, that can happen in this book. So besides those special ceremonies, the governor's day-to-day office. A lot of people ask you, you don't see a bed in here or anything like that. The governor doesn't live in the Capitol, like the president lives in the White House. Our governor doesn't live in the Capitol, there's no room for that. So instead, when they're elected as governor, there's a house about 2 miles away from us here in Lansing where she lives at with her 2 dogs, Doug and Bud.
Oh my god, she has dogs, Rufus.
A couple of things you want to take a close look at. First off, you'll see the governor's desk back there. Behind the desk, you'll see some pictures of the governor's family.
Yeah, I love that.
You'll see a big blue flag with that state seal on it. That's the picture we talked about downstairs. And then you get a closer look at the state seal on the oranges, right next to it. Now you'll notice that these are nice and tiny compared to the ones on top. For 146 years, people have been collecting the state seal to get good luck. So once you turn at the front, if you rub the state seal for 2 seconds, that's 1 state capital, 2 state capital, you get a whole day of good luck. Pretty good. Right? Once you have your turn at the front, getting some good luck, we're going to move around the corner to the next room, okay?
Well, I want some good luck. I love good luck. They're like medicine. That's going on YouTube. Oh, I can't wait to rub it. I can't wait to rub it. I can't wait to rub it. I can't wait. Yo, imagine. Hey, how can you get over here?
Never washing this hand again.
1, 2. Good luck. There's a meter right there.
Oh my god.
Right stroke just went viral.
It feels so good.
It's so.
Shut up.
Yes, yes. Oh, that's what we're looking at.
They're going on YouTube.
First group just baby. Oh, baby brother. It's just my baby dog. No, I can't wait to sit. Get off the view, man.
All right, so we're more than halfway through the tour. We have one more floor to go up to. We're going to go see the third floor. We got some big spaces up there. But before we do, a couple quick things to talk about here. You probably noticed, remember that 9 football fields of artwork I talked about?
Yeah.
All around us, on the walls, the ceilings, these big pillars, all hand painted. Remember I talked about the scaffolding in the rotunda to paint the stars? They have to build scaffolding in these rooms too to go up and paint those ceilings. They're tall up there. Now the Capitol is so hand painted that even things inside of it that don't look hand painted are in fact completely hand painted. If you look at our doors and door frames, or the bottom of the walls, you'll see that dark wood, right? Does that look hand painted?
No.
It looks like fancy walnut wood. Now, when we built the Capitol in the 1870s, we didn't have money to use fancy walnut wood. So we decided to cheat a little bit. What we decided to do was use our much cheaper Michigan white pine wood. Anybody know what's special about the white pine tree?
No.
Isn't it our state tree?
It's our state tree. So we have it all over Michigan. We wanted to use it. So they made all the doors and door frames out of white pine. The problem with white pine, though, is that it's not a very fancy wood to decorate with. So what they decided to do was use that cheap white pine, make all these things out of it, and then they had artists come in, and what do you think they did? They painted it 6 times, 6 layers of paint to transform it from very white, boring white pine up to much darker English walnut. 6 layers of paint to do that. They had to paint every single line, every single ring into that wood throughout the entire Capitol. They did the same thing on these chandeliers. We have 20 of these in the Capitol, Michigan chandeliers. Maybe it's in here. That's why it has the elk and it has Stewie Gore up there. Now this is a metal chandelier that's painted to look like it's made of walnut wood, just like the doors are. Now there's a good reason why it's not made of wood, because when the Capitol first opened, the light bulb had not been invented yet. So you guys have any guesses what they used to light the building?
Candles.
So not candles, but very close to it, they used gas lighting. What gas lighting was were open flames on these chandeliers, just like candles without the actual candle. Now, when you have an open flame on the chandelier, a wooden chandelier, what might happen?
Heads with fire.
So they made it out of metal instead. So that gas lighting they had, instead of light bulbs, they had these little tiny open flames. A couple of things out of that. First off, what's brighter, big light bulbs or little tiny open flames? Light bulbs by a lot. So in the early days, it was a lot darker in the Capitol than it is now. Sometimes it was so dark when the sun wasn't out, they couldn't get work done. Also, when you have these open flames on the chandeliers, just like a small campfire, what would rise up every day from that chandelier? The heat and smoke would rise up to that beautiful hand-painted ceiling. We had gas lighting for the first 20 years of the Capitol. Every day, smoke and soot would go up to that paint. What do you think it did to it over time? It wrecked it. It ruined it. It made the paint start to chip and crack and flake. It made it start to fade away. It also stained it black. So over the years, it was a big job to go through and have to clean all this stuff. Do you know who invented the light bulb? Thomas Edison, another Thomas. Thomas Edison invented the light bulb just a few months after the Capitol opened up. It was terrible timing. It took 20 years for us to actually wire the building and put in these new light bulbs. But by 1901, the chandelier now had light bulbs. It became much brighter in the Capitol, became more healthy, because the gas lighting wasn't very healthy either, and it also became much cleaner in the Capitol too. So we're pretty lucky to have this today. These are things that we have today that we don't even really think about that they didn't have back then. In order to turn on these light bulbs now, all they have to do is flick a switch, right? Just like you do at home or school. In the early days to light up the gas chandelier though, there was no switch you could flip. You had to actually go up here and turn that little circle thing hanging down. That's called a gas valve. It's like a water hose valve. That would get the gas flowing. And then they had a tool to stick up there to actually light up that flame. Once the gas was flowing, they could light up that gas and make that open flame. They had to do that on every single one of these lights throughout the entire Capitol, every single day, and they have to turn them off every single night. So it's a huge, huge job. So we have it a little bit easier than they used to back then, right? Now, one more thing here, or a couple more things. Take a look down. We have our checkerboard floors, white marble and black limestone. Anybody remember what two about the limestone? The black tiles? Yeah, very good. They have
fossils
inside of it from the ocean.
I see a tooth.
So if you see any spirals or specks
Look
or
at-
shapes, those might have been snail
That looks
shells
exactly
stuck
like
in
a
the
tooth.
ocean
I found
floor,
one.
might be shark teeth down there. You
Yeah,
can
see?
your imagination be a fossil all over our town.
That looks like a tooth. Look at this.
I have multiple teeth. Like I got
Look at this. This looks like a tooth.
bones. It looks like a tooth. This looks
All right, page one more quick thing here, then you can find some more fossils upstairs too. One more quick thing. On top of the 9 football fields of artwork, what we also have in the Capitol are pictures of important people to Michigan's history. These are called portraits. We have about 60 portraits in the Capitol. Most of the portraits are of governors who worked in this building, worked in the office we just saw. But we have only one portrait in the Capitol of a president. This is President Gerald Ford. President Ford was our president back in the 1970s, 50 years ago. And he's the only president who's allowed to have a picture inside of this building. That's a good question. Why? That's because he's the only president we've ever had who is from where? From Michigan. He's the only Michigander president we've ever had so far. He grew up in Grand Rapids, a little north of you guys, which is his hometown. He has a great museum in Grand Rapids too, the airport's there. And then in 1970, he became president of the United States. So if you guys, being Michiganders, if you ever become president someday, what does that mean you can do? You can have a portrait here, right? So we're saving some spaces for you. This big wall there, that big wall there, they're reserved for you. So when you guys become president someday, you can have your portrait hung right here outside the governor's office in the Capitol, which is a pretty cool goal if you ask me. All right? Any questions here? Go.
What are the big tools that they use, like huge lighters?
What's that?
What are the tools that they use to light the things?
Yeah, big lighters. It was like a long metal stick, and it had a little flame at the end of it, so you could reach right up there. Yep. Any questions? All right, stand up. We have one more flight of stairs. Bring our line here.
Bro.
It's been constantly.
Now we are on floor 2. We're going to walk you through context of now we're off the level from the last floor. 1 to 12 through 1 and 2 quickly down the bottom.
We can play chess.
On the see portraits of governors. Talk about these characters, but you'll see the woman with the blue coat on. That's Jennifer Granholm. She was our first woman governor back in the early 2000s. Actually, we'll pause here for a moment and talk about other ones. So what's cool about the governor's portraits here is that they can just make themselves. They can make their portrait look however
Are you
they
scared of
want.
heights?
So a lot of the governors will put things inside their picture that are important to them. Right? So for instance, Jennifer Granholm, she's pointing to a globe. On the globe, though, she's not pointing to Michigan. It kind of looks like she is, but she's pointing a little further up to the north. You guys know what country is above us to the north? Canada. She's pointing to Canada because she was one of the 4 governors we've had who's not in America. She's born in Canada. So she's showing that by pointing to it on the globe.
Case of different.
Over there is our most
fell down
recent
like
governor, the governor right before Gretchen Whitmer's governor. His name is Governor Rick Snyder. One of his favorite hobbies is going up north to the beaches and looking for specific stones. Did we know what stone he'd be looking for? No problem. It's named after a city up north. We'll go right over there. Petoskey Stone. So you'll see it down at the bottom left corner. The Petoskey Stone, which is our state fossil. It's kind of a great rock. And then there's one portrait across the way, looks a lot different than the others if you go to tour. This one is called the Unfinished Portrait of Governor John Swainson. John Swainson was governor from 1961 until 1862. He was governor for 2 years. Because back then in the 60s and all the time before that, our governor's terms were only 2 years long. Remember how long they are today? 4 years, 8 years old, and 4 years.
That'd be fun. Imagine Jeffrey
2 years,
in one of those.
which was half the time. He waited to be reelected as governor and was beaten by another governor. So his time was finished. He felt his time as governor
Hey, he was
a little bit
recording
short
in
because
his
governor was
his
so
phone was
well
saved. That'd be
finished.
sick to watch.
So the artist who painted it did what? Half finished it. So it looks like it's half on the pencil, half pasted with paint.
I was taking so many pictures.
We're going to stop at the next floor upstairs, get a great view of the stars. For now, let's head over this way to our staircase.
Oh, who last? Why didn't Yo, Abel.
Yeah.
Imagine I put my head there.
Did you put your head there and fall down? No, you're gonna down.
Not that high as that.
Case it drops down here. Oh, the house.
We have to go upstairs.
Art on the stairs. Reserved for some paintings. All those reserved paintings for people. That is scary. That is so scary. This is sketchy. Yeah. I feel like it's so sketchy. Philadelphia. Stair just says Philadelphia. Why does the stair say Philadelphia?
Because that's where they were made. The iron.
It feels so sketchy.
Metal.
My legs burn.
Me too.
What?
Man. Is that like your bathroom?
Top row, I'll go down here to the end. I'll go down.
Yo, this car gets soft. I want
New Mexico, yeah. Oklahoma, Idaho. Where? Look, it's Idaho. Washington. South Dakota. Where? North Dakota. It's South
Idaho.
Colorado.
Where?
South
All right, Paige, so up at floor 2 now. This is the highest up we're going, so we're all done with those big staircases. We'll go down and it'll make it a little bit easier to do that. And we're going to stop in the Capitol. This is called the Chamber for the House of Representatives. This will spend a few minutes on the floor talking about what that happens in the Capitol. It makes it really important. But a couple pretty things first to see. Take a look up. That red black tile ceiling. 126 tiles up there, 50 of them decorated with each of the states. Those are the state seals we talked about, the state logos. You see George Washington's face, that is for the state of Washington. That's their state seals of our first president's face. You see the U.S. national seal, that represents all the states in one logo. And then if you're looking for Michigan's up here, can you find it? No, it's a trick question. That's because Michigan's, it is on the other side than the second row, front and center in the room. Do you guys know why Michigan would be front and center in the room?
Obsessed with it.
So this is Michigan capital, and because Michigan, you guys didn't know it already, ours is front and center in the room. Now, because you can't see it up in the ceiling from here, we also made sure to paint it in gold somewhere else. You guys find the state seal somewhere else? It's on one of the walls.
Oh,
Walls.
I see it.
All around for it. Got it. Right across the way from us, right above that big one right here, that's the state seal painted in gold with the moose, the eagle, and Suegor. Alright? Hanging down from the seal, you got these beautiful 6 crystal chandeliers. These crystal chandeliers are original, 146 years old. They didn't have light bulbs. What did they have instead? They had gaslight and they had flames on that. They're in really good shape, aren't they?
Yeah.
Every summer, our crew goes through to clean them. It's a big job. It takes 5 hours to clean one chandelier. You're kind of wondering how they do it. It's too far out to reach it. Can't spray the hose. Can't come up on a ladder. So instead, what they do is lower the chandelier. Up above the ground, there's an up at the motor, the chains on these are attached. You press the green button on the motor. It takes 10 minutes to lower that chandelier all the way down to the floor. Once it's lowered down, we can stand in front of it, clean 1,760 pieces of glass and crystal, replace the LED light bulbs every 5 years or so, shine everything up, raise it back up, lower the next one down. So 5 hours per chandelier. We have 6 of them in this room. 30 hours. 30 hours. You guys got it. 30 hours to clean these chandeliers every summer. It's a big job. Is it worth it?
No.
Yeah. Imagine you came here today on your tour. You saw beautiful glass above you. Saw this beautiful hand-painted art. You saw big dusty cobweb-covered chandeliers. They're kind of really weird, right? So we do a lot of work to keep this building looking as clean as it does. So it's well worth it because who are we keeping these clean for? This is more capital. It's 13 years. We're keeping them good for you. The next time you come in, they're going to look just as good, not even better next time. Alright? Now, these benches are sitting in public viewing galleries. If you're back in the Capitol sometime, walking around, if you're here on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, on those days here at the spring of the fall, that's when we have meetings. Meetings are open where you can walk right through the doors and take a seat.
He's already come.
When they're working, these meetings they have are called sessions. And during the sessions, that's when 110 state representatives come from all over Michigan, including the Upper Peninsula. They travel here every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and work at those desks now. 110 desks in total. When they're all working at those desks during their meeting, this is when the representatives are thinking, talking about, and voting on what? What are they working on? What are they making inside this room? Not making cookies, not making toys. What are they making? Go ahead. They're making our laws. Our representatives are part of our legislative branch. Our legislative branch of government is the lawmaking branch. Our laws are really important to us. Why do we have laws? What do they do for us? Yeah, they do not run into cars. They help keep us safe, right? They tell us what's right to do, what's wrong to do. They keep Michigan a good, safe place for us all to live, right? So no stealing, protect others,
I wonder if that's
no jaywalking,
cute.
stop at red lights, wear a seatbelt, no driving into your safe no into your no drinking alcohol into your laws. We have natural laws and state laws that help keep us safe and keep our race in a good place to live, right? When they're thinking of new laws out there, new ideas to make Michigan a better place for us to live in. If one of them comes with a really good idea, what they want to do is they want to write it down before they forget it. So they write it down on a piece of paper. That idea on a piece of paper has a special name. Does anybody know what a law is called before it's an actual law? You guys got it? Oh, they bill. They bill is an idea for a law written out. Once they have this bill written out, what they'll do is bring it to the next meeting. At the next meeting, all 110 representatives will get that bill. They'll read about this new great idea. Some of them are going to like it. Some of them aren't. Right? Everybody has their own opinions and ideas, just like we do. So it's the right that they can voice themselves about these ideas. Okay? So during the meeting, a big part of it is that they will give speeches about each one of the bills that's been proposed. If a representative wants to talk about it, they go to the nearest microphone. They raise their hand. Then once they're called on by the Speaker of the House, that's the representative in the big black chair in the front who runs the meeting and bangs the gavel. Once they're called on by the Speaker, representatives will give their speeches. They'll list out all the reasons why they think we should or should not have this bill as a new law. Right? So once they've talked about it, once they try to convince each other to either like it or not like it, that's when they have to take a vote. Because in order for a bill to become an actual law, it needs at least one more than half of them down there to say yes to it. One more than half. That's called a majority vote. Majority vote. So students, we have 110 representatives. So the majority then is one more than half. Okay? So let's say it quietly on 3. 1, 2, 3. 56. 55 is half, so 56 is yes. If it passes with 56 of them saying yes to that bill, it has passed the House of Representatives. If it comes to a tie, right, if it comes to a 55-55 tie, it does not pass. It needs at least 56 of them to say yes to it. That's the majority. So if this bill passes with at least 56 yes votes, this bill is not a law yet. This is another half of our legislative branch, right? We have our House of Representatives, but we also have another chamber called the Senate. Somebody said, yep, Senate. It's called our Senate. Our Senate works in the big room that looks just like this, except it has blue walls instead of red walls. We're going to see it later on. In the Senate chamber, we have 38 people in there. So 110 in the House, 38 in the Senate. Our senators have the same job. They get that bill that passed the House, they read about it, they talk about it, they vote on it. If that bill gets a majority of the senators, half of 38 is 19. So what would the majority be? 20. If it passes with 20 yes votes, this bill has now passed the House, has passed the Senate, and now there's one more person who has to say yes to it. For our U.S. laws in Washington, D.C., it's the president. How about our state laws here in Washington? We don't have a state president. What do we have instead? It goes to the governor. It goes to the governor. From there, the governor has 2 options. If the governor likes the bill, the governor will sign her name on that paper. It becomes a new law that we all follow. Or the governor can say what to it. Can say yes or say no. It vetoes the bill. The governor vetoes the bill. It does not become a law. Okay? So that's called the 3 steps of our lawmaking process. Quick review. Who works on it? Then it goes over to the Senate, and then it goes to the. Very good. Where do you think most of their ideas for laws come from? Yeah, their job is to be our voice in the Capitol. So where do you think most of their ideas come from? They come from us. They come from you and me. If you guys ever have a good idea for a new state law, let's say every year, the day after the Super Bowl is a state holiday. You don't have to go to school the next day. It means you can stay up late, watch the football, watch the funny commercials, and you don't have to go to school the next day. Let's say you come with this great idea, you want it to become law. What you can do is write your representative down there a letter. You can send an email. You can call them. You can visit them. If you tell them all the ideas, all the reasons why you think this idea should be a new law, and they agree with you, what do you think they're going to try and do? They're going to try and make a law, right? They're going to write it down. They'll talk about it. They'll vote yes on it. They'll try and get the senators to vote yes. They'll try and get the governor to sign it. But these ideas come from people just like you and me. Now, one of the big rules of this room, though, is that when you come to watch them in their meeting, if you're sitting up here, you have to be absolutely quiet. There's no talking allowed while they're in their meeting. Okay, so if they're working on a bill, you have an idea about it, you can't just like yell down to them. You have to be quiet. But what you can do is either write them a letter, you can send them an email, you can call them, or there's another room in the Capitol where you can come and talk to them. And that's the room we're going to see next. Okay, it's called the table. Let's go ahead and make sure everything's with you. Stand up.
Go ahead. Thank you. Yep. Yo, figure out how to record good on this thing, you know? It's so annoying. She had her feet on the headrest, so when I laid my head back, her foot kicked me. Take a picture of that. Why are you videoing everything? Yeah. Probably gonna switch to a vlogger now. It's just fun. Have you showed your face yet? No. When I reach 100 subs. Yeah, I knew that. You can show my face over here. I know. I already did. Anyway, so. I know you did. Golden elevator. I have to go a certain way. Supreme Court? Oh no, this is Supreme Court. Supreme Court, Supreme Court. W. Do we get to go in Supreme Court?
What is it? Bro, when do we get to eat, guys? Dude. When do we
All
get
right,
to
ladies, we
eat?
have 2 more quick stops to go, a couple walkthroughs, and then we'll get you back downstairs. Are you guys heading to the Historical Museum next?
I don't know.
No? Going back
Miss
home.
Benedict.
Going back home. Cool. So a couple more quick rooms. I mentioned in the house, when you go to watch them, you have to be what? Silent. Do you have an idea about the bill we're working on that you want to actually voice to them, to share with them, and talk to the senators and representatives? This is the room where you can do that. This is called committee room. When you walk through in just a second, you'll see a desk up front with 2 chairs and 2 microphones. That's where you can have a seat and you can tell them your ideas, you can voice your opinion, and their job sitting here around you is to listen to you and I ask you some questions. But a cool part of this too, if you come to talk to them about the bill, they'll also put you on camera too, because all the meetings they have in the Capitol are shown online at our state website, michigan.gov. So you can watch anything that's going on here right online, and if you come to speak, people will be able to watch you online as well. All right? Now this room used to have different names. Today it's committee room, but it used to be called the old Supreme Court room. This is where the Supreme Court had their cases at for about 90 years in the Capitol. They worked here up until 1970. The Supreme Court loved working in the Capitol, but unfortunately they didn't have enough space. And so by 1970 they grew too big, they had to move out. So they now work in another building a couple blocks away called the Hall of Justice. It's a big white building with a little black dome on top. That's where they've worked now for about 20 years, okay? So this is the room where they used to work at. We miss them, so even though they haven't worked here for a long time, it's still set up to look like a courtroom. So when you come in,
We get to go in it.
that is the old judge's bench, the justice's bench. That when the Capitol opened, our Supreme Court had 5 judges. You'll see 5 chairs up there. Today our Supreme Court has 7 judges. So if you're trying to fit 2 more chairs, get a little bit too tight up there.
The devil is alive in the system. I've got. There's a TV in Supreme Court. Oh, step it. Yo, bro.
That no cap, that kind of looks like
Construction. I think it's top secret. He didn't say anything about it. The devil was alive here sleeping on the
going in. But what is the point of going this way when you can go the other way?
I know. Steps. Oh, we're even higher.
Now we're going to stay standing at the rail so you can see everything. How many blocks?
Hey, yo, there's a guy down there.
All right, so our final stop.
There's people.
Today. This
Officer.
looks a lot like the House chamber, right?
There's a
Except
badge.
it's used by who? The Senate. This is the Senate chamber. So blue walls. In the House chamber, we have red walls. In the House, we have 110 desks. We have 38 here. In the front, at the front is House, those sessions are run by the Speaker of the House with the Council. Here in the Senate, they're run by the Lieutenant Governor. His name is Garland Gilchrist. He acts as the President of the Senate. We had a good question earlier in the House. If it comes to a tie, 55-55 tie, it does not pass. That's because the Speaker is the President. So there's a tiebreaker. In the Senate, though, the Lieutenant Governor only gets the vote if there's a tie. There's 1919 ties, the Lieutenant Governor gets the tiebreaker vote. Remember I said all these meetings are shown online. So there is a session every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Here your school day. If you guys ever want to watch your
There is a cheese hat.
later from home, just go to our state website, michigan.gov. Take a look up.